Fox News alert for you. The Obama administration is reportedly reviving talks right now with the Afghan Taliban as part of a new effort to free U.S. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, who was captured back in 2009 in exchange for the release of Taliban prisoners that are currently held at Gitmo. Good idea. Retired four-star General Jack Keane is here, former Army Vice Chief of Staff, a Fox News military analyst. General, great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Jamie.
Can you measure the risk versus the reward? You let 5 former Taliban members who have been at Gitmo for a long time out, and we potentially get our soldier back, but can we really trust the Taliban?
Well, first, we can't trust the Taliban, that's for sure. And the other thing, Jamie, if they've been at Gitmo this long, although we don't know, who they are, that's not been identified in open sources, that we can assure ourselves that these are bad guys, and they're there for very, very good reasons. All that said, listen, we've got a soldier behind enemy lines who's been detained for 5 years. I think it's very appropriate for us to, one, try to rescue him. That's not possible because he's likely in Pakistan and we haven't been able to get any intelligence. Or two, try to negotiate his release. And I think that is what we're doing. And I do think what it means to the morale of our troops who have been at war for a long time to know that their government is coming for them one way or the other is really very important to them. And I know for a fact that our troops in Afghanistan now would certainly agree with this kind of an exchange.
First of all, I'm very curious about why we haven't been able to rescue him all these years. But I also am curious about what restrictions we can put on the release of these prisoners. If we return them, can we have them under arrest someplace else? Do we have that power?
Well, certainly part of the negotiations, we can do that. When we tried this in the past, we were only going to release 1 at a time and then maybe 2 and keep them in Qatar initially in Doha. I don't know what's on the table, but certainly those kinds of negotiations could be on the table to forestall their getting back into Afghanistan, at least until most of our troops are out of there.
And in terms of a rescue, why isn't our intel good enough to know, after all these years, exactly where this soldier is? Although I assume, let me just say this, I do know from another POW, you're often moved from one location to another, but why haven't we been successful in that regard?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, we've worked very hard to try to find him. Most people believe, intelligence sources, that he is in Pakistan and he's being hid by the Haqqani network. And when you're just trying to hide one person, it's relatively easy to do. And that person obviously is not communicating to everybody, as bin Laden was. And we had difficulty finding him. And everybody in our intelligence services were after him for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So I think it's understandable why we haven't been able to track him down. It's not for a lack of effort. I know for a fact that the military and our CIA has never given up trying to find him.
No, that's important for Americans to note, that everything is being done. But what about other countries? They say his health in the last pictures that we've seen of him has deteriorated. Are there other countries or the United Nations or other Red Cross groups that should be coming in and supporting the efforts to get him home?
Well, absolutely. And that's a great comment. I mean, the first country and foremost here is Pakistan.
Yeah, they're supposed to be our friend. We give them money, remember? Right?
Right, we give them lots of money, Jamie. I mean, they're supposed to be our ally, but truth be known, they act against our interest time and time again. I'm confident our government has probably put some kind of pressure on Pakistan to give up this guy because they know where he is. They're very tied to the Haqqani network. But the fact is, Jamie, they support the Haqqani network with intelligence and with resources and actually with training. How sad is that?
Yeah, I'm going to ask anybody that can do anything to try to bring him home. And I know you'll step up any efforts that you can as well, General. Thank you so much.
It's always good talking to you, Jamie.
Thanks.
His hometown is Sun Valley, Idaho, and they've kept this man in their memory the entire time. Listen to his father talk. He says, when I wake up, I'm on Afghanistan time. And when I go to bed, I'm on Afghanistan time.
Question is Pakistan. The bigger question is, why aren't they doing everything they can? Doesn't sound like they are for what we're doing.
You got it. 25